Welcome back. You're with me in the C Space Studio here at CES 2025. I am James Kotecki, and I'm joined once again for the second year in a row by Ali Miller, our friend from Instacart, where you are the VP of Ads Product, and we're so glad to have you.
So nice to be back here. Thank you.
Okay, so what is Instacart all about here at CES 2025?
So at its core, Instacart is a grocery technology company. So we are all about bringing the power of online grocery and e-commerce across the industry to the retail partners that we work with 1,500 retailers on our marketplace, to the brand partners that we work with 6,000 brand partners that are working with us to advertise their products on the Instacart marketplace and beyond. Yeah. And so one of the big transformations that we've seen in the industry is, of course, this incredible rise of retail media. There are so many retail media networks out there. There are so many different ways to buy. And so we think that our role is actually to help create a much easier ecosystem for brands to be able to buy in a very trusted way with verified measurement and true AI, generated and ML powered capabilities that can help them to drive results that really matter at scale, not just on the Instacart marketplace, but across the 200 plus partners that we have that are actually using the Instacart ads technology on their own retail owned and operated sites. So that's an exciting moment where we're thinking about making it much easier for brands to buy and then also offering retailers of all sizes the opportunity to play in this ecosystem.
Is there a specific pain point that comes to mind as you imagine maybe a typical customer struggling to deal with this? And that you're solving? Definitely.
So it can be very challenging for a brand to manage many, really hundreds of retail media opportunities across across multiple retailers. And so something that we've seen is particularly from the ease of buying perspective, easy tools, easy access to reporting, easy access to creating great formats and driving results that matter, but also on the measurement side, where data plays such an important role in creating not just trusted advertising metrics, but also providing the opportunity to take the high intent audiences that are on Instacart, the consumer behavior and purchases that are happening on Instacart, and open up those opportunities to reach consumers wherever they are, whether it's on the Instacart marketplace, off platform with Meta, Google, NBC Universal, or even in store where we have our smart caper shopping carts that are now entering the aisles of the grocery store.
And we definitely want to talk more about that and follow up with you on our conversation from last year about that. But first, I am curious, philosophically, so you're the VP of Ads Product, right? You have a lot of data. You know a lot about advertising, probably more than maybe a lot of the customers that come to you. At least maybe not about their products, but in general. And so when you're building these products, how would you philosophically balance the need for it to be easy with the amount of robust information that you could be sharing with them? And it's like with any engineering or any kind of, you could have a remote control that has 8,000 buttons on it, right? And all those buttons could do something really cool. And how do you balance that out with what the customers actually can use?
Absolutely, that's a question that's very near and dear to my heart. So ultimately, data is not just the thing that you need to provide directly. You need to use it to power something that's valuable. Those valuable things could be outcomes, and those valuable things could be insights. On the outcomes front, we've really been ML first, AI first from the very beginning days of Instacart ads, and so we really focused on providing access to data through the power of optimization. When an advertiser or a brand is advertising with Instacart, they can choose to just automatically maximize sales, maximize customer acquisition, using the data behind the scenes that we can use to then just find those right opportunities to show their ads at the right time and drive results that really matter without needing to use those 800 buttons on the remote. Another example would be really use case based when we're thinking about taking that data beyond the walls of Instacart and offering it to advertisers who are looking to reach consumers who might be interested in their category or might be interested in their brand and hadn't bought it before. Really focusing on how we can use the data to reach those audiences at that right time, create more shoppable and measurable experiences. Again, providing a lot of granular detail if the brands are interested, but they certainly can just use the ease of setup and management and measurement to reach those audiences at the right time without a lot of work.
And then that's a real challenge, and kudos to you for behind the scenes trying to figure out that calibration and putting as much behind the scenes as you do. Let's talk again about the caper cart. So this is Instacart's, well, I want you to define it, but I just know that we had the Instacart caper cart here last year, and now we have it here again. So tell me about then to now, what's happening and what's happening next.
So this time last year, we had just announced our intentions to build ads on Caper Carts. And since that time,
and the Caper Cart is what, just for folks?
Oh yes, absolutely. I'll start from square one. So the Caper Cart is a smart shopping cart that has a screen in front of the consumer it looks just like a shopping cart, so it's very easy to use and move around. It scans items directly using AI, using computer vision as you put those items into the cart. It has a certified weights and measures program, so you can actually put your produce directly in the cart. And then as you add things to your cart, you're seeing the totals pop up on the screen. And increasingly now, we're able to now offer the opportunity for brands to reach consumers in these very targeted moments. Yeah. So the really special thing about a Caper Cart from both a consumer perspective and from an advertising perspective is that it knows what you've just done. So it knows you've added something to your cart. It knows you're turning into the cereal aisle and you might be really primed for an opportunity to see a promotion for a cereal that might be on the shelf. And so where we've gone from last year to this year is we've actually now built out those capabilities. We're running ads on Caper Carts that can offer those location-aware and item-aware ads opportunities that are useful and dynamically personalized to the consumer, and also really bringing the best of online e-commerce into the aisles of a grocery store that feels really natural when you're actually shopping. So it's been quite a journey, but we're really excited about all the progress we've made.
What's interesting about this is not only does it know what goes in the cart, I, the consumer, I know that it knows that, and it makes sense to me that it knows that, and that there's no, I imagine, there's no like creep factor, like, oh, how do they know all this stuff about me? Well, you just put it in the cart.
Exactly.
So there's no weirdness.
That's actually what I love about shopping data itself, is it's very much based on what you do. It's not necessarily trying to figure out something about who you are, but it's really just responding to what am I adding to the cart, what am I responding to, which items might go together, and then how can that help me build my cart in an easier way, in a way that's probably more fun because I'm also discovering new items as I go.
And now and or in the future, how does the advertising program on the Caper Cart potentially interact with some of these other retail media networks, including in-store retail media experiences?
Exactly. So again, really data is the through line of all of this. So the opportunity to use everything we've built as these foundations on the Instacart platform with our ads capabilities, all of those smarts, all of that AI and ML, that can drive exactly what's going to be creating these experiences in store, in aisle, and also connecting transaction data, purchase data, and closed loop information across all of these different touch points off platform with all of the different partners that I mentioned. Yeah. So there really is a truly connected omnichannel ecosystem that is going beyond just the concept of omnichannel, but really bringing it to life with all of that data. The other piece that's really important here is that retailers work with us across each of these touch points as well. It's incredibly important that as we roll out Caper Carts and we're working with retailers like Kroger, like Wakefern, like Schnucks, they're working with us across the board in many different aspects of the Instacart platform. And so rolling this out in partnership with our retailers and making sure that we're creating a cohesive ecosystem for them as well is really important in making sure that we're driving an ecosystem that works for everybody.
And for yourself and or your partners, what are the next measurement and data kind of milestones that you see that you need, that you want as we head into 2025?
We're continuing to focus on building out really strong measurement capabilities for ads themselves. So we really invested in sales lift and incrementality measurement. We're really proud of our 15% average sales lift on the platform. We've rolled out advanced measurement like a share of digital shelf metric where brands can understand when they're showing at eye level, whether in ads or organic item placements across the platform. That continues to be a big focus for us. And as I mentioned, taking that power of that data and closed loop measurement off platform will continue to be a focus throughout this year. The one piece that's newer for us, which we haven't done to date, is actually creating new product capabilities that can offer those insights in more of a standalone way where brands can actually have deep insights at their fingertips. So at our booth here in the C Space, we actually have some examples of insights that we're building for brands. For example, substitution insights. So when my product is not available, are consumers replacing within the brand? Are they getting a different flavor, a different size? Are they replacing outside of the brand? It gives some really interesting insight into consumer patterns and consumer preferences, stickiness, loyalty, a lot of things that really matter to brands, in addition to just really understanding what's going into the basket and what is behind all of those top-line sales numbers that I'm seeing. So we're working on building those out, and there's a lot more to come on that this year.
And I imagine a great opportunity to serve an ad if someone rolls up to the peanut butter aisle and the kind of peanut butter that they want is out. Here's another opportunity. Here's one that many people do replace it with.
Absolutely.
You can actually use that there. Do you have a prediction about the next 5 years? 5 years is a long time, especially at CES, when everything's moving so fast. Do you have a prediction about the next 5 years or so that you think might actually happen that maybe other people don't?
So I mentioned that omni-channel vision really coming to life when you think about, again, data really being the through line with all of this, bringing all those touch points together so a consumer may actually be able to feel, regardless of whether they're shopping in the aisles of the grocery store, watching TV, watching online video, browsing social, if we're still all doing all of those things in 5 years, probably.
Sure.
Those connections between those experiences could actually feel truly personalized and dynamic and know about what I'm interested in, regardless of how I'm shopping. That future is not that far away. We're already working toward that now, and there are many ways in which that's already coming to life. What's exciting for me is that if I imagine that really scaling and really coming to life in a big way, you can imagine how that could actually give insight all the way up from the supply chain on down, creating more efficiency, a better feedback loop in the industry for everyone involved in food, in grocery, in production. And the part that is really important to me is that at the end of the day, this isn't a cold, hard, data-based ecosystem. This is really helping people get the food that they need to get on the table. This is like helping them get essentials for their households.
Literally a kitchen table issue.
Exactly. So it's really rooted in the humanity of what people actually want and need and how they'll live their lives, but hopefully just in a much easier and more connected, efficient way.
Part of your humanity is that you're a violinist. We talked about that last time you were here in the C Space Studio. Because you're a friend of the show, I'll put you on the spot. What kind of music best describes CES?
Oh my goodness, that's a really good question. I think, okay, I'm going to go, this is maybe a stereotypical answer, but I would go with jazz. Okay. You know, there's a little bit of improvisation here.
Yes.
There's a little bit of something new and exciting, something a little unexpected, but it's still kind of rooted in this strong drumbeat of things that we really understand, the expertise in the industry. And so I think if I had to choose one, I'd go with jazz.
I knew you'd have a great answer to that question.
Great. I'm glad you asked it.
of Instacart. Thanks for joining us again in the C Space Studio.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for watching. I am James Kotecki. We are at CES 2025, and more conversations from the C Space Studio are coming up, so don't go anywhere.